Hey guys, round 2 of G Fuel Code Madness is now underway. We made it in and now we've got another few days to make it into round 3. So if you want to get yourself literally anything from the G Fuel site, be sure to use code IMMORTAL at checkout. It gets you 30% off your order and every code used gets us one step closer to getting our very own Shaker Cup. Anyways, on to today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, hey hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're basically going all in, right? We've covered a lot of class setups here on the channel so far this year, but today we're breaking down the best class setup for every base weapon in the game. So yeah, no DLC weapons in this one. We did just recently break down all of those in a video a few days back if you want to check that out. But as far as today goes, every AR, every SMG, every LMG, every shotgun, sniper, marksman rifle, and pistol, literally every single weapon you can customize, we've got a class setup for. So, if you enjoy the video at any points, or if you find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on to stay on top of the latest Call of Duty news and intel. Anyways, getting right into the classes for today, just to get it out of the way up front, I am pretty much always using EOD, Restock, and Shrapnel for my perks, and then the C4 and Stim for my equipment, as that's just my go-to setup for all of that. Now, I will leave a timestamp in the pinned comment down below for each weapon category if you just want to jump to one, but getting into the pistols to start things off, these will probably be on most classes, unless of course you're going for camos or if you just have a passion for shooting down streaks. So, first off, we do have the X16, and on here my class consists of the monolithic suppressor for better range, the advantage barrel for better range and bullet velocity, the 5mm laser because, as you'll see, I am hip firing a lot with this thing, the lightweight trigger for a better fire rate, and finally the Akimbo perk because 2 is always better than 1, and that most certainly stands true in this case. And altogether, this makes the X16 very, very effective to use in CQC engagements. Then we've got the 1911. I would say this is probably my least favorite pistol, but hey, it certainly is not the worst weapon in the game, all things considered. But I will say it's just not the most convenient to use, so typically I would stray away from using it just out of preference. Anyways, my attachments here start with the monolithic suppressor yet again, then I have the stalker barrel for better range and bullet velocity, the 5mm laser once more, the lightweight trigger yet again, and the Akimbo perk as well. And you'll begin to notice a trend on the pistol classes as we continue to get through them. 2 is always better than 1 in my own opinion. Now we've got the 357 Magnum, which I would say is definitely the best pistol with the right attachments on it. And it's also probably the most frustrating one to run into because the one-shot kills with this one are, well, a pretty common occurrence. So here I've got the long barrel primarily for the better range, then I've got the 5mm laser and the lightweight trigger just like before, the snake shot ammo upgrade for a larger damage radius, and finally the Akimbo perk again, which is really going to allow you to play even more aggressive because you're not going to have to reload nearly as often. Also, little side note, this is the pistol class that I use on the majority of my classes, as I find this one to be the most consistent out of them all. Next up, we've got the M19, and this is basically a direct copy of the X16 class, as the two are very similar in nearly every single aspect. So here I've got the monolithic suppressor, the super barrel for better range, the 5mm laser, the lightweight trigger, and the Akimbo perk once again to really highlight the weapon's effectiveness up close. Then finally we've got the 50GS, aka the Desert Eagle, which personally is my favorite pistol to use, not necessarily the best, but by far the most fun in my mind, because it's basically a mini sniper when it comes down to it. The one-shot headshot is incredibly satisfying, and outside of that, it is predominantly a 2-shot weapon in close and medium ranges. So if you hit your shots, this one is going to be very rewarding to use at the end of the day. Now on the 50GS, I am using the monolithic suppressor again, that'll of course increase the range. Then I've got the enforcer barrel to increase the range and the recoil control, followed by the lightweight trigger, the classic stippled grip tape, and finally sleight of hand. However, you could always swap that out for say the tac laser to get some better mobility. But altogether, this 50GS class really shows just how powerful this weapon is in a variety of gunfights, and it really is the powerhouse of the pistols in general. But now we do get into the primary weapons, and obviously we've got plenty to go through, so getting right into the ARs, first up we have the Kilo 141. This is a very consistent AR that I would say is just really decent all around. It's got good range, good mobility, and good damage, and overall it is a very easy weapon to use. So my class here consists of the compensator for better recoil control, the prowler barrel for better range, control, and bullet velocity, the no stock option for better mobility, the commando foregrip for more recoil management, and finally the stippled grip tape for better mobility as well. And this class really makes the Kilo even better in those close range fights, but it'll still be just fine in medium and long range battles too. So it's got really great versatility on top of everything else. Then we've got the FAL, which is, without a doubt, my least favorite rifle. They nerfed the fire rate on it, they put a cap on it, and that to me really just ruined this weapon. But alas, its damage is honestly great. It is a 2 to 3 shot kill at most ranges, so for a more defensive playstyle, it can be really effective. So I am using the Marksman barrel for better range, control, and bullet velocity again, the tac laser for better stability and mobility, the Solo Zero Optics mini reflex since I don't really like the iron sights all that much, the no stock option once again, and the grip tape that is stippled. So this really makes the FAL more agile and consistent for rushing, while also maintaining its efficiency in long range engagements too. Now we've got the M4A1, and this is the very clear choice for the best assault rifle, as it's strong, fast, easy to control, pretty much everything you could ask for in a weapon, right? I mean, when you're looking for a consistent rifle, this is it, no doubt about it. So here I've got the Corvus custom barrel, which increases the range, control, and bullet velocity, the GI mini reflex for better vision when aiming down sights, the no stock option for better mobility, the commando foregrip yet again, and same deal with the stippled grip tape. And really, there's not much else that we gotta say about this one. Next up, we've got the FAMAS, or the FR556, which recently, I don't know why, but I feel like it's gotten a whole lot better. I've noticed I seem to be getting one bursted by it a ton in game, but also while using it, I was doing the same. I don't know if they shadow buffed it or what, but it does feel very strong, at least as of right now. Now on it, I've got the monolithic suppressor, the sniper barrel, the GI mini reflex, the tac wrap stock for a better ADS speed, and everyone's favorite grip tape per usual. Then we've got the Odin. This is the powerhouse of the assault rifles, and while it may be a lot slower than most others, it is a very hard-hitting rifle that can absolutely shred if your aim is consistent. The big problem here is that recoil, which is very noticeable, but this class counters that pretty nicely if I do say so myself. Now I've got the Colossus suppressor for better range and control, the 730mm barrel which does the same, the tac laser for better mobility and stability, the Merc foregrip, which is an odd choice on a rifle, but I do feel like it helps maintain the recoil pretty well. And also I use the rubberized grip tape, which is based on control too. So you really do minimize the kick with this selection of attachments equipped. After that, we then have the M13, which recently did get a buff, so honestly it is a lot more viable now. And this class consists of the compensator, the Marksman barrel for better range and control, the skeleton stock for better mobility, the blackout rounds for better range and even more stealth, and also the stippled grip tape to round things out. Then on the Scar, I've got the 17.2-inch LB barrel for better range and control, the close quarters stock which increases the ADS speed, the commando foregrip, the stippled grip tape, and sleight of hand for a faster reload, which I do really prefer over a larger magazine simply because it will allow me to get back into the action much faster. And then to finish off the rifles, we do have the AK47, one of my personal favorites to use, and this features the monolithic suppressor, the tac laser, the skeleton stock, the commando foregrip, and the stippled grip tape yet again, making it great for basically every single kind of engagement you could think of. Although, to be honest, it will be the most effective in medium and long range fights, so just take that into consideration. Now, moving on into the SMGs, here you are going to notice a lot of similarities between the classes, as I try to base them all off of being the most rush-friendly and aggressive, because, obviously, that is where they are going to excel the most. So, starting on the AUG, I do have the extended barrel, the tac laser, the comb stock, which increases the ADS speed, the Merc foregrip, which is the best grip to run for basically every single SMG, and of course the stippled grip tape too. But even though we are still on the 9mm ammo here, the AUG is surprisingly good at a range if you can control the recoil, so I am definitely a very big fan of that. Then, up next on the P90, I am using the monolithic suppressor, the retribution barrel to extend the range, the tac laser, the fly strap stock for better mobility, and everyone's favorite grip tape to really make the P90 more effective up close, but also even better at a range too, giving it a lot of potential to do well in a variety of gunfights. Then we've got the MP5. This is easily the best SMG and also a contender for the best weapon in the game too. And here, this is actually the best pro class to use on the MP5. And we've got the collapsible stock for better mobility, the Merc foregrip, the 10mm rounds, the grip tape that is stippled, and also sleight of hand to reload faster. Once again, not really much else that needs to be said about this one. Now we get to the Uzi, which recently has gotten some more attention with some new attachments and also some buffs here and there. And here I am using the Carbine Pro barrel, the close quarters stock, the Merc foregrip, the new 4.1 AE rounds for better damage and range, and also the stippled grip tape yet again. By the way, do we have a grip tape counter for this video? By the time it's over, I'm gonna need someone to comment down below how many classes I'm actually using that on, because it is definitely the most common attachment for sure. Anyways, we then get to the Bison. This is my personal favorite weapon in the entire game. It is basically a rusher's best friend, and here I've got the compensator, the steel barrel for better range, the tack laser, no stock, and the same grip tape as always, making it great for a run and gun type of playstyle. And then to round out the SMGs, we also have the MP7, and my favorite class here features the recon barrel for better range and control, the 5mm laser, no stock, the Merc foregrip, and the stippled rear grip as well. Now, continuing on into the shotties, we did actually just cover these this past week, so we'll be brief here. But on the Model 680, I've got the choke, the sport barrel, the 5mm laser, the no stock option, and also sleight of hand, which altogether will increase the range and the speed of the weapon, making it really good for playing really aggressive. And this is probably my favorite shotgun class to use as of right now. On the R9O, I've got a very similar class, featuring the choke, the sentry barrel, the 5mm laser, the Merc foregrip, and also the stippled grip tape, once again focusing on both range and mobility as areas of improvement. Then on the 725, I'm using the choke, the sawed-off barrel, which currently breaks the weapon in general, making it ridiculously powerful, followed by the 5mm laser, the sawed-off stock, and the slim grip guard to close things out on that one. Then finally on the Origin 12, I am once again using the choke, the impaler barrel, the 5mm laser, no stock, and the stippled grip tape once more, to basically focus on all the same areas as on the previous classes. Now jumping right into the LMGs, on the PKM I'm using the compensator, the compact barrel, no stock, the snatch grip, which is a pretty unique attachment. It increases the ADS speed and also the recoil control, and then the usual grip tape, which altogether make the PKM a lot more agile. However, the range doesn't actually end up dropping all that much, so it is still very powerful, but a lot faster overall. Now, for the SA-87, this is probably the least popular LMG because it's just not the most conventional or convenient weapon for that matter. However, it's not terrible, it's not the worst weapon by any means, and on it I've got the factory barrel, the Solo Zero mini reflex, the comb stock for better mobility, the commando foregrip, and per usual, everyone's favorite grip tape. We then get to the M91, which is definitely a powerhouse weapon. This thing is a beast when it comes to damage, and honestly it's pretty effective in most other areas too. On it, I am using the heavy barrel, the GI mini reflex, the striker's stock for better ADS speed, the commando foregrip, and the stippled grip tape as always. And then to finish up the LMGs, we have the MG34, and on here I like to use the brute barrel, the Solo Zero reflex, the close quarters stock, the commando foregrip, and the grip tape that is also stippled. Now, getting into the Marksman rifles, for starters we've got the EBR, which is probably most people's least favorite in this category, but it can be very effective when used correctly. It is a 2-shot at most ranges or a 1-shot to the head, so it can be a beast. You just gotta have really good aim. Anyways, here I am using the precision barrel, the tack laser, the GI mini reflex, the Raider chassis elite stock, and then the recon perk, which honestly could be swapped out for focus, an extended mag, or anything else you might prefer over seeing some names highlighted at greater ranges. After that, we then have the MK2 or the Mark II carbine, which is an incredibly fun weapon to use. It is great for a run and gun style of play, and on it I'm rocking the tack laser, the VLK 3x optic for a better visual range, the comb stock, the stippled grip tape, and the focus perk for less flinch. Then we have the Kar 98K, which is definitely my favorite of the three. Running around and sniping with the Kar is incredibly fun and satisfying in my opinion, and it's probably the sniper that I am the most confident with as well. So here I am using the tack laser, the sniper scope, the comb stock, the stippled grip tape, and the focus perk once again. So basically the same setup as the MK2, just with the sniper scope instead. Now we have the standard sniper rifles as the last weapon category we've got for today. And for starters, here we have the dud, yes, the dud that is the Dragunov. I really truly despise this thing. It is not a fun weapon to use, but regardless, the best class that I've found for it is comprised of the monolithic suppressor, the extended barrel, the tack laser, the VOK 3x optic to make it more of a marksman rifle than anything, and finally the stalker scout stock for a better ADS speed. Ultimately though, this is not a class that I would recommend unless you need to use it for some camo unlocks, let's say, because even though this is the best class for it, it is still not anything to write home about. However, the HDR is. This thing has got an insane range and really good damage in exchange for a slower handling speed, but that is definitely something we can work around. So here I am using the monolithic suppressor and the pro barrel to really cap out that range, the tack laser and the stalker scout stock for better speed, and also the recon perk, which once again can be traded for something that you find more suitable if you so choose. Then finally, the last class that we have for today is all about the AX50. And here I've got the monolithic suppressor, the factory barrel, the tack laser, the Singard Arms assassin stock, and the stippled grip tape, which all pretty much help with the mobility of the weapon, making it a lot better for an aggressive playstyle. So, with all of that being said, those are the best classes for every single base weapon here in Modern Warfare, and that is going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, or if you found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, and you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, including all the latest news and intel, updates and leaks, and pretty much everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when I post a new video. As I mentioned earlier, we did make it into round 2 of G Fuel Code Madness, so if you want to get us one step closer to that custom shaker cup, be sure to use code IMMORTAL at checkout and get yourself 30% off your order on gfuel.com. Once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.